Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jason Williams, and I'm with my tag team partner, Blake Castetter, and we are the Sunday Fun Day guys. Blake, we are 1 week essentially to the beginning of the 2025 NFL season. How pumped are you to get this thing rolling?
I can't. I'm so excited to start with Survivor picks. I'm
Right
telling
out,
you, this is going to be the year.
this is gonna be the year. We say that every year, folks. This is our year. This is our year.
Between that and then obviously weekly fantasy picks and bets on the FanDuel, DraftKings, etc. Like my weekends are going to be packed.
I tell people, listen, if you don't get me now, like literally this weekend, and that might be debatable. I was like, you're not gonna see me till February, if you're lucky.
I was wondering, you got any drafts this weekend?
I have one on Labor Day.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Actually, it's the one me and Jackson do together, and we came in second last year. So he is all super stoked to make some picks. Team Jamarvelous
Yes.
being our name, and we were able to get Mr. Chase last year. Not sure if that'll happen this year, but we'll make it work.
Where's your draft spot?
I am going over his mom's house to hang with him and draft. Like he wants to be live and present. Yeah.
What spot?
What spot? I don't know.
Okay.
We haven't had. We don't. I don't think we've gotten a draft order yet, which I would imagine we'll get probably tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, we'll get it tomorrow. I'm not too concerned. We got this draft mind. Don't matter where you draft, right, Blake? Come on.
Just make sure he's got my rankings.
Oh, really?
Just saying.
All right. One thing before we get into the show, I would be remiss if I didn't say, man, congratulations to the both of us. Episode number 50.
Is this the one?
This is the one.
Oh.
Episode number 50. I don't want to spend too much time reflecting, but I think it's due, and this is a pretty big occasion. 50 episodes is, could be the start of something big. And for some reason, several years ago, we never knew how this was going to turn out. And we're here at episode 50. So with that being said, I am honored to be able to do this with you, brother. As we talked about via text, a lot has changed in the last several years, both professionally and personally. But the one thing that hasn't, and the thing that's gotten better, is actually our friendship. So I appreciate that, man. I'm super excited to continue to do this with you and to tell people we're podcasters is the looks I get when I tell people I'm a podcaster. They're like, what? Okay. But honored to get to episode 50 and looking forward to 50, 60, 100, 200, all that good stuff.
Say 100's the next milestone for sure.
Yep. I'll let you have the floor.
No, it's just, man, think about all the hours and time, not only preparing, but perfecting the quote unquote craft, the technology behind it, the equipment, setup, et cetera, Wi-Fi.
Big deal. That's kind of important.
Yep. All those minor details, and then just doing the reps together. It's been fun.
Yeah, man. All the hiccups along the way, and we still have hiccups. Case in point, last week, but we're a work in progress, just like everybody else, man. Nobody's perfect. We don't claim to be perfect in what this is. It's just a hobby of ours that we've just kind of taken and ran with it without any prior experience. None. Did you know how to do this before you started?
No.
So
and so many people were so nice to us saying our episodes were good to begin with, and
yeah, they were crap.
Looking back, holy cow. We appreciate all you guys that are nice.
Yeah, especially our moms.
No doubt.
Well, again, episode number 50. We are excited to bring this to you, fanatics. And again, to Blake's point, thank you for tuning in at your leisure to listen to two guys who used to work together and dreamed one day that we would have a podcast and get the word out about our fantasy exploits. And here we are.
But that's a good episode to have at 50. We're talking about rankings leading up to the biggest weekend of drafts of the year.
Yeah, this is the most anticipated episode of the year, in my opinion.
Yep, this one and next one. We'll have back-to-back days, right?
Yes, sir. Back-to-back we're doing. That's a
Wednesday
first.
and Thursday night. That's right.
Yes, yes. So let's get right into it, Blake. News and notes, man. It's been, first of all, we had cut down day yesterday. I would be remiss if I didn't speak to Taylor and Travis getting engaged. I mean, I think we have to,
call it out
a little bit. We're not going to talk about it much, but it's out there. Congratulations, those two. But with that being said, a lot of things going on in the NFL over the last 48 hours, 72 hours.
I know.
You want
Big
to
changes?
You want to speak to some of those?
Some impact fantasy football, some don't.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift do not, but it's fun for gets the ladies involved in football a little bit more. Sure. Brian Robinson off to San Francisco. What's the impact there? I don't think it's much. They've always had a committee approach, but solid backup if CMC were to get injured.
Agreed.
Scary Terry signed a nice deal to stay in Washington. We knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of time. Trey Hendrickson, 31 years old, gets a bump in his contract. And what's the exact terminology? It increased the 1 year value, and they're just going to let him walk after this one?
Correct. So he gets bumped up from 16 to 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't call that a bump. I think there has to be a better term for bump than just for a $14 million pay increase than bump. I'm like,
almost
bump.
Doubling.
Yeah, that's like what I hit on the road every day. That's a bump in the road. This is like a mega super bump in salary. And kudos to Trey and the Bengals for getting it done. And we'll see. They surely need
long term, and he wanted a lot of guaranteed money. And you're at 31.
You're not going to get it.
That guaranteed money is not a thing anymore, dude.
And he was still under contract, and the Bengals still have the cards because they can franchise him twice. But nonetheless, Trey Hendrickson got his money. They desperately need him, and good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
So then, the changes that I've got in the back of my head: are we back in 2015? I mean, listen to this. You've got Amari Cooper back in Vegas with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Adam Thielen back with the Vikings, Keenan Allen back with the Chargers, and Brandon Cooks back in New Orleans.
Yeah, I think this segment should be Back to the Future, maybe.
Yes. Yeah.
So without the DeLorean. But man, you got 4 receivers that obviously are on the tail end of their careers, kind of going back to their old stomping grounds, which is for them pretty cool. Again, in terms of fantasy and what we're talking about, will it have any impact? That's yet to be seen. But again, they're at new locations, and it's kind of a throwback for all 4 of them.
I think 2 could potentially make an impact in Amari Cooper with the issues happening in Vegas with Jacoby Myers requesting a trade. Yeah. We know Gino, he likes to lock in on one receiver and pepper him. 2 years ago it was DK. Last year it was JSN. And then Keenan Allen, there's a lot of familiarity with him and Mr. Herbert. So I don't think he's going to be a stud, but could it be a comfort, a blanket, like a check down, plenty of targets, not a lot of yards, but a solid flex? Maybe.
We'll get to Mr. Herbert at some point in our show.
It is the quarterbacks episode.
I got a big smile out of him, folks, on that one. All right. Well, let's get into our rankings for 2025. The first position we're going to talk about, folks, is quarterback.
Yeah, and we disagree on who QB1 is this year. Yes, and I said it in my bold predictions that I think you're going to have a QB1, a wide receiver 1, and an RB1 in Cincinnati, and the QB1 being the overall QB1 in Joe Burrow. I think we've got too much firepower and not enough defense. So long as he's healthy, I'm going to find it hard for him to not build off of what he did last year. Well, you think Lamar Jackson's numero uno?
I do.
Without question, that's fair. I mean, he had a career year last year. So I've got Lamar Jackson at 3, though.
Okay.
So help me understand how you see Lamar Jackson, how you get to Lamar Jackson as QB1.
Well, it's very simple. He's 28 years old. He's in the prime. I mean, he's prime time career. Like he is in the prime of his career. Last year, I'm just going to give you a few stats. Last year, he finished last year he finished in the top 12 16 times in fantasy, basically the entire year. Never been done as a fantasy quarterback. He doesn't have great weapons, but the weapons he has seem to be sufficient enough. Mark Andrews is a year older. He's still got Zay Flowers. He's got DeAndre Hopkins. Don't know how that's all going to work out. Likely is a little bit hurt. So to your point, I can see where you're coming from, but I can't go away from Lamar Jackson and what he produces on the field, not only as a potential MVP candidate every year, but also in fantasy. 2024 was number one in the following categories: passer rating, yards per attempt, and fantasy points per dropback. And also we forget about his legs, ran for 915 yards as well. So at the end of the day, I can't dismiss the fact that Lamar Jackson is a dual threat quarterback, and he's gotten so much better at being a quarterback that I don't think you can deny him being the number one overall quarterback in 2025 in terms of fantasy.
So a lot of your reasoning is my reasoning why he won't be. So okay. Yes, he's a top 3 quarterback. I don't think there's any questioning that. My biggest concerns are what he did in 2024. Mm-hmm. He's never done before. So I think there's going to be a drop in efficiency because, like you said, he led career highs in passing attempts, yards per attempt, passing touchdowns. He also had an 8.6 touchdown rate, 8.6% touchdown rate. The league average, around 6.
Right.
915 yards was his most since 2020. So I'm concerned there's going to be a drop off and he's going to come back down to reality. Not only am I concerned about efficiency drop off, but I'm concerned about injury risk. And he's already banged up. He's already got a foot injury. Mm-hmm. So I think he returns to a closer to his average norm and lands at QB3 this year.
Fair enough. I still think he is the number one guy until proven. A lot of these rankings, in my opinion, go off of what you've done and what you not necessarily what you have the potential to do or not to do. So until he proves me otherwise, he's number one. And obviously I love Joe, and I think Joe's going to have a great year. But I think the rushing yards are the differentiator between Joe and Lamar. And obviously Joe's going to be, for the most part, passing a lot more contingent on what the offense looks like and their defense. So to your point, he might take a step back, but only because the Bengals will probably, most likely, be in a lot more shootouts than the Ravens. Mm-hmm. But the Ravens were, they had a great defense last year, and Lamar could have been the MVP last year. I get where you're coming from. QB number 3. I don't know how you can rate him QB number 3. I think he's either 1 or 2. But some of your points are are good. But at the end of the day, Lamar is Lamar, and I think he is the number one guy, period.
Well, that's why we do this.
Yeah, exactly.
So I end up with Lamar at 3 behind Josh Allen as well because of Josh Allen's legs and second year with Shakir as well as Coleman. And is it third year with Kincaid?
I believe
Third years. I think it's third year with Kincaid. So I think there's going to be a bump in the Buffalo offense this year, and that's going to run through Allen.
Yeah, I think it's his third year because Kincaid, he was one of those guys last year as a tight end. We were high on thinking of potential, and he shoot.
Yep.
But
didn't do much.
I think Josh Allen is consensus number 2 now. Whether you flip Joe or Lamar is the question. I think Josh Allen is going to be there. I mean, there's no reason he couldn't be number 1 again if those receivers step up and play like they can, and he continues to, be Josh Allen, like Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's got to be, in my opinion, touchdown regression for James Cook. So that most likely is going to run through
Josh Allen,
either on the ground or passing the ball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so you and I flip flop with Burrow. You got him at 2. I've got Allen at 2. I've got Allen at 2. You've got Josh Allen at 3. We both agree with Jayden Daniels at 4, Bo Nix at 5, and Jalen Hurts at 6. The next discrepancy comes at your pick, Jordan Love, number 7. I've got Jordan Love at 9.
So not too much of a discrepancy, but nonetheless, it's a discrepancy. So I'm going to give you the reasoning why I have him as my number 7th ranked fantasy quarterback. First of all, 2024 was a struggle for him. A lot of it had to do with injury and receivers dropping the ball. But in 2023, he was a top 5 QB. Had essentially a pedestrian 2024, especially the last half of the year, and failed to eclipse 300 yards essentially in the last 8 games of the year, which in that particular offense is really hard to do. Wide receivers led the league in drops in 2024. I can't believe that'll happen again in 2025. I just don't see that happening. I mean, the law of averages says they won't struggle catching the ball like they did last year, and they had some terrible, terrible drops. I think Matt LaFleur wants to showcase Jordan in terms of his ability to get the ball to the receivers, especially after the subpar effort he had last year. Now, again, last year relied heavily on Josh Jacobs, and we'll get to him as well in terms of where we think he should be ranked. But we can't expect Josh Jacobs to carry the load like he did last year. It's just not necessarily feasible. And lastly, they drafted a wide receiver in the first round. So clearly, they're wanting to throw the ball. And clearly, they think they have a franchise quarterback to get it done. Now, I know about the injury to the thumb. I am not concerned about that whatsoever. I think Jordan Love comes back to form like he did in 2023 and becomes a top 10 quarterback with all those weapons, with the good coach, with the defense that gets turnovers. I don't see any reason why he can't be 7, potentially even higher at the end of this year.
So while we have a discrepancy, I think the point of pointing out Jordan Love and this slight discrepancy, we're in agreement because I have him at 9.
Sure.
And when you compare him to Fantasy Pros consensus rankings of QB 17, we are very high on him. And we agree, even though we're just a little bit off on where he lands.
Yeah.
The offense is going to run through Jordan Love this year. I mean, he started off last year on fire. Then he got hurt, and he kind of never really came back. I anticipate he's going to pick back up where he started off last year this year.
Yeah, and I think he's on a mission to prove to people because there's, he got his money too. So he's kind of in that Trevor Lawrence category. Like, hey, man, you got your money. We've seen glimpses, but we haven't seen you ascend to that upper echelon of quarterbacks. And he's got all the talent. No question. No question.
So we both agree, Jordan Love. And that's a safe pick. I mean, he's going late in drafts.
Really late.
We're talking top 9 QB projected in our rankings and our projections in the last few rounds. You could pick him up.
Without question. Starting quarterback. Starting. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another checkbox for the late round QB decision.
Always.
So next on your rankings, and there's another slight discrepancy, is Baker Mayfield. You've got him at 8. I've got him at 10. I'm concerned about Baker and that high of a ranking. I know it's only 2 spot difference, but it's a big 2 spots.
It is.
Even with Liam Cohen, you still have him at 8.
I do.
Okay.
Now Baker's been in the league for a decent amount of time. Now Liam Cohen is gone, but in my opinion, doesn't change anything for my man Shake and Bake. 8 top 5 finishes in fantasy last year, most by any QB. Now the receiving core, is a little bit depleted and decimated, but they drafted Emeka Egbuka of Ohio State. And I think he's going to be a surprise, and I think he's going to fit right into the offense with Mike Evans, Bucky Irvin, Cade Otton. He's going to have plenty of weapons to throw to. I don't think there's any drop off because of the leader that Baker is on the field, and the guys love to play for him. And with that being said, I think Baker is in line for another 4,500 yard, 30 to 35 touchdowns. Again, looking at that division, and we've talked about it already, there's going to be some points scored in that division. And I know Godwin is hurt, McMillan's hurt to start the year, but I don't think it matters with shake and bake. I think he'll find a way to make it happen, Blake, and he will ascend into the top 10 of QBs again in 2025.
I still have him as a top 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely concerned with Baker. And especially the departure of Cohen. He still has Grizzard, right? And Grizzard is what helped the Buccaneers really shape their third down strategy last year. So there still is some continuity in Tampa Bay. But what about Baker himself? So you talked about what they've done and not what they could do or may do, right? So with Lamar. So let's look at Baker. So last year, career best in touchdown passes with 41, and he himself had a very high touchdown rate of 7.2%. Previously, his best was 28 touchdown passes, and his average touchdown rate was under 5% coming into last year. So right there, I see a touchdown regression coming this year. You even pointed it out, 6 touchdowns at 35, so roughly 6 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. What about his interceptions? Led the league last year with 16 INTs, and 5 out of his 7 years in the NFL, he's had double-digit INTs. So it is what it is. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to throw a bunch of them, and he's going to throw some touchdowns this year. I'm just concerned that with the change in OC, he's not going to be the same, and there's going to be a drop-off. Still top 10 QB. He's still going to sling it.
Yeah, I say once a gunslinger, always a gunslinger. I don't see – he's going to – listen, you know what you get with Baker. He's going to throw it to the other guys sometimes, but I think he's matured enough to understand, like, he's got weapons. Let the weapons do their job and let him just get the ball to those guys and let them perform. Understand where you're coming from. Again, slight difference, but I don't think there's – again, top 5, he goes down to 8. So to your point, there may be some regression, but – as a top 10 quarterback, does he get the 41 touchdowns? I don't know. I think his interception rate comes down because I think at the end of the day, you self-scout yourself. And I think Baker knows, like, you know, he can't necessarily be turning the ball over and giving the ball to the other team, especially with the type of defense that they have. So I think he's going to take better care of the ball. Does he get the 41 touchdowns? Who knows? But I think his interception rate comes down, and I think he distributes the ball well. And I think he takes over that offense, and he becomes essentially the OC on the football field.
Next up, you have Dak Prescott at 9. Here's where we flip. For once, I've got someone ranked higher than you. So I've got Dak Prescott at 7. And Jason, he's only 1 year removed from his QB3 year in 2023. Mm-hmm. And including that year, he was top 10 in 3 of the past 5 seasons that he played. He's got his best receiving core he's ever had with the addition of Pickens. Now he's got 2 legitimate wide receiver ones, just like the Bengals with T and Jamar. Plus he's got Ferguson at tight end. Back to full health, he should be. So I anticipate fully that the boys are going to be airing it out and probably involved in quite a bit of shootouts given their defense. That being said, I've got him at 7.
Again, very little discrepancy. The only reason I have him a little lower than you, Blake, is just because as good as Dallas looks on paper, there are times when the Cowboys don't play like they look, if that makes any sense. So, yes. and I think Dak's a great quarterback, but he's had moments where you just scratch your head and wonder what he's doing out there. Now, to your point, he's got Pickens and CD. Should not be an issue. I am not sure how the O-line is going to be. I think that's the biggest question mark with Dallas, the offensive line. There's no question about it.
And no running
back. Right. So how does that look in a division with some pretty good defenses, especially like nobody's talking about the Giants, but that front four, they're going to get after the quarterback this year. I like Dak. I think he'll perform better than he has, which obviously last year was not a big sample size. I just worry about those anomalies with the Cowboys, so to speak, where you think they're going to do this and they do that, and you think they're going to win a game, and you think Dak's going to have this awesome game. He ends up throwing 4 interceptions. I mean, we've seen it in the past. Just going off of recent history, you're like, okay, Dak's going to, he's going to throw for this, he's going to throw for that. And again, did not have 2 receivers the caliber of Pickens and CD. All of this it's going to fall on Dak. To your point, no running game, offensive line may be shaky. You've got a good tight end, you got 2 receivers. Can he finally step up and get to that upper echelon that people want to anoint him as a QB in the NFL? That's the question. If he does, then he's more than 7 and 9. He's top 5.
Which he has done recently.
Right.
And I mean, in reality, again, Fantasy Pros ADP consensus is QB 11. So we're both higher on him than the consensus. We're just 2 spots off.
Yeah.
Next, you've got Patrick Mahomes at 10, Caleb Williams at 11, and then we get to Mr. Jared Goff at 12. Now, I've got Mr. Goff at 15. Some big changes. Again, another team with big changes at the OC position. Doesn't concern you. Still got him as a QB1?
I do. And here's kind of my reasoning why. Top 10 QB over the last 3 years in fantasy. Yes, Ben Johnson's gone. So you would think there would be regression on the offensive side, but I disagree. The last time I checked, MCD, meaning Motor City Dan, is still the head coach. And that team takes on the identity of their head coach. And I know Ben Johnson was a great offensive coordinator, but at the end of the day, Dan Campbell's the head coach. I think they're still aggressive. I still think they push the ball downfield. Curious to see what those losses on the offensive line do to the running game. That's going to change some things potentially, and maybe the passing game. But I think they're in such command of this offense, meaning Goff and those skill players. I don't see any drop off whatsoever from what they've done over the last 3 years in terms of the Lions and what the production has been from that offense. So that's my reason for having them borderline 10, but definitely a solid 12 in terms of rankings, for me.
Well, you're perfectly aligned with the consensus. But my concern is, just like with Tampa Bay, what's the Ben Johnson loss effect? So in Chicago, I'm a believer that they gained, the effect is going to be positive. And in this case, I think it's going to be negative. I also think that Goff, if you look at Goff prior to Detroit, is a quarterback of the system, kind of like Purdy in San Francisco. So that a new OC, I believe, is going to lead to a drop in production. I think there's touchdown regression coming with that as well. There were a lot of big plays, like Jameson Williams, trick plays. He was at 6.9% last year. And if you look at his career, I don't think that's sustainable. He offers little to no rushing upside, so the floor really isn't there.
Right.
And Detroit's strength of schedule this year is a lot tougher than it was last year. So we're not far off. I'm slightly behind consensus on Mr. Goff. And that same thing carries over to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams in my rankings. So the loss of the O-line too, I agree, plays a role.
Yep. I think I'm hitching my wagon to Dan Campbell in terms of the production of the offense. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. I think from what I understand, he's saying the show must go on. And if he's not doing that, he shouldn't be coaching in terms of, hey, we're going to lose guys, but we shouldn't miss a beat. And I strongly believe in Dan Campbell and what he brings to that team and the intangible of, hey, we're going to go for it on 4th and 3 at our own 35. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. I don't see any changes in terms of the aggression. Now, do they convert on those things? Who knows? But I don't see the aggressive nature of that offense changing. And I think that's what made the Lions the Lions. They were just uber aggressive. And there's no way Dan Campbell's going to have any regression on the aggression in terms of what he's doing on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so next in line, you've got CJ Stroud at 13. And boy, you are ahead of consensus big time.
I am.
So let me hear it. How do you get to just outside of QB1 territory with a quarterback that there's a lot of question marks around and had a huge sophomore slump?
Right. I get it. New offensive line, starting running back is out for the foreseeable future. Bringing in new wide receivers sounds bad for CJ, right? I still think there's hope, Blake. I do.
Clearly.
Yeah. I know I don't really have the stats to back it up, but I can't believe because of this. And again, a quarterback is only as good as his offensive line and the receivers. But CJ didn't just fall off the cliff. He's a special talent. Now, does Houston have some big question marks? They do. But I think because, again, I lean on the coaches. So I lean on their head coach to get this figured out and get that ship righted because they have the talent. It's just a matter of putting it together and not reverting back to their old ways in terms of last year where he got sacked a ridiculous amount of time. I can't believe that's going to be the same this year, even with a new starting offensive line. I still think CJ Stroud is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. The sophomore slump was real. I think he gets past that, and I think he somehow finds a way to get in the top 15 when it comes to quarterbacks, and I have him at 13.
I'm all the way down to 19, and a lot of the points you mentioned are my concerns.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using that term a lot. Like I feel like I'm negative Nancy today.
You are negative Nancy.
I mean,
better you than me.
He's got a new O-line. Yep. He's got no running game at this point. Mixon's out for the foreseeable future. He's got a shell of Nick Chubb, who's back. He's got a 4th round rookie running back.
Dameon Pierce, too.
And Dameon Pierce, who looked good for a brief moment and then fell off himself. A new offensive coordinator. Another team with a new offensive coordinator. So they did spend good draft capital on a new wide receiver. So that increases the probability of passing, right? But I think QB 20, where consensus is right around that sweet spot. I might got him at QB 19, but if you take a flyer on him, he could pan out big time, not only because he's got the potential, but his fantasy playoff schedule is extremely good looking. He's got 3 weeks in a row of teams who struggled to get pressure on the quarterback. And when he's got time, he has excelled.
Yeah, he's probably the biggest mystery at quarterback this year in terms of where he fell last year and where he's fallen this year and the complete change of the team around him. I mean, they've gone through a pretty seismic change in terms of the offensive line, receivers. Tate Dell is hurt. Joe Mixon. I mean, Joe Mixon last year was their MVP. He single-handedly kept them in the hunt because CJ was getting killed. So you're right. No Joe Mixon. I just, for some reason, I just can't let myself get away from the talent that he has. And again, only as good as your surrounding cast, but I think he's got something to prove in terms of, hey, my last year wasn't great. I think he's going to come out and show some people like, hey, hey, there's Jay Daniels, but hey, don't forget about me. There's all these guys, but don't forget about me. I'm still the man in Houston.
And that's kind of how I feel about our next guy. Justin, you've got Justin Herbert at 14, but I've got him all the way up at 8.
Woo!
And so that's how I feel. Like, I agree. Everything points to Greg Roman running the ball. He loves a committee backfield. All he wants to do is pound the rock. They drafted a running back. They brought in Najee. They got a great offensive line. Familiar faces and changes. I mean, this is the second year in the system with Greg. And if you remember last year, there was a point where when we talked on this, he was a must-start quarterback. When they started to allow him to throw the ball, and you talked repeatedly about his talent as a quarterback and his arm and his running game, he was a must-start. There was a nice chunk during the year where he was lighting it up QB1 over and over and over again, meaning top 12 QB. They brought back Keenan Allen, so there's a level of comfort he's got a great rapport with. They upgraded the offensive line with their right guard. They added weapons in Trey Harris and Omarion Hampton. I mean, if he can stay healthy and pick up where he left off in 24, avoid that well-known midseason slump that he's had multiple times, he's a top 10 quarterback that you can get late in your drafts.
Well, we're going to reverse this, and all the reasons you gave are the reasons.
Negative Nancy, let's hear it.
Yeah, all the reasons you gave are the reasons I am a little bit skeptical of Mr. Herbert's ranking according to you. Only had two 300-yard games in 2024. Granted, came out of the gate slow, but the last half of the season, he picked it up. Only averaged 227 passing yards a game. Weapons, Ladd McConkey, we know about. Keenan Allen, he's kind of old. And we talked about Trey Harris. He's a rookie. So you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, from a talent standpoint, to your point, Blake, I think short of Jackson, Allen, and Burrow, Justin Herbert is right there. No question. Like top 5 talent in the league at quarterback. But two things hurt him from a fantasy point of view. Lack of consistency with his weapons and Jim Harbaugh's game script and attitude, which is to be physical, run the ball, and play defense. Not necessarily things that lead to great fantasy stats from a QB perspective. So as much as I love him from a talent point of view, I just think he's in the wrong system to showcase those talents. We will see.
Fingers crossed. I believe he's coming out. They're going to not be afraid to let him throw the rock around a little bit again this year.
They shouldn't be. I agree with you. They should let him. I mean, he needs to throw the ball more than 20 times, but we know Harbaugh. That's kind of his deal. You're getting 25 attempts, and we're backing you off because for whatever reason, that's what's worked for him. I mean, he's been successful doing that. No question, but he's never had a Justin Herbert. I mean, you can Kaepernick maybe, but not the total package. Kaepernick had a decent arm, but not as accurate. And Justin Herbert's got a cannon, an absolute cannon.
I mean, Greg Roman had Lamar Jackson.
That's true, but he also had Jim Harbaugh as his coach. 2 different styles.
No doubt.
Brothers, but two different styles. One is more aggressive. One likes to pull in the reins a little bit.
All right. Well, that wraps up all our discrepancies. I mean, we can rattle off our rankings, but it really doesn't make sense to just keep going down the list. You want to move on to running backs?
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Now,
right, let me pull up the list. Hang on one second.
Some interesting stuff going on right here, folks. We've got some discrepancies.
There's some strong ones too.
Oh yeah.
All right. So right out of the gate, I mean, we agreed on the top 3.
Of course.
Bijan, Saquon, and then Gibbs. Even with the offensive line changes at Detroit, we still think Gibbs is top 3.
He's Gibbs. Sonic.
You've got Derrick Henry at 4. I've got Derrick Henry at 5. So we're right there. Mm-hmm. The first real discrepancy comes with our friend in Las Vegas. The rookie, Ashton Jeanty.
Go ahead.
I can't convince me how a rookie running back in Las Vegas is going to be number 5. Let's hear it.
I'm going to convince you.
Let's go.
I got this. So As you know, Blake, I'm a big college football fan. Got a chance to watch this guy do his thing. Granted, Boise State, you can debate the competition, but he ran roughshod against that competition. So you can say what you want to. You play who you play. He played who he played, and he dominated at the running back position in college last year. Highest drafted running back since Saquon Barkley. I got some more names for you coming up.
Let's go.
One of 3 first-round running backs to see 20% of their team's receiving yardage in a single season. The other 2, Christian McCaffrey and Jahmyr Gibbs. You heard of those guys, buddy? You know those guys, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just checking. He will get a ton of work on a Raiders team that I think will be much improved under Pete Carroll. Has the skills to be an every down back. And we know Pete Carroll has a great history with running backs. See Marshawn Lynch in Seattle. And don't forget what he did in college with Reggie Bush and Lindell White at USC. Those guys were unstoppable. My only concern in terms of Genty is the defenses in the AFC West are really good. We talk Denver, we talk Kansas City, and we talk the Chargers. I think that would be the only sort of bump in the road for him, but I don't think it matters when he's as talented as he is. I have him at number 5. Could I see him be a higher? Potentially I could.
Get out of here.
But for right now, I'm gonna do it. Well, I mean, Derrick Henry. At some point, that train's got to start to slow down a little bit. It does. CMC, you laugh. Okay. I can't wait till next year. I can't wait. Go ahead. Let's talk about it. Mr. Number 10, running back.
I mean, I've still got him as an RB1.
Okay.
Solely based on volume.
All right.
But the best comp for Ashton Genty coming out of college, Melvin Gordon.
Oh, I disagree with that, but that's
no.
I disagree with that.
Go look at those college numbers.
I get
It's fascinating how close they are.
I don't look at the numbers. I look at the tape, Blake. The tape does not scream Melvin Gordon to me. That's for sure. Go ahead.
First year, Melvin Gordon did nothing. Oof. Who was his competition in the backfield?
I don't
Danny Woodhead.
Oh, yeah. Danny Woodhead. Okay. Okay.
Anyway, so they had a committee in the backfield, and it took 3 seasons for Melvin Gordon to actually get the train rolling and become the bell cow.
All right.
Neither here nor there. We can move on from that. I get you're excited about him. You saw him in college. We saw him in college. He looked phenomenal. I loved watching the highlight reels. But if you're drafting Genty in the first round, you are literally drafting him at his ceiling. Like, best possible case scenario, in my opinion.
Okay.
This year, 9 of the first 12 running backs picked in fantasy drafts so far have been in top 15 scoring offenses from 2024. The 3 that didn't, Genty, Taylor, Kyren. Now, the Rams, you can say, would have been higher and probably top 15 had they not gone 4 to 5 games without both Kupp and Puka. Fair? The Raiders in 2024, 4th lowest scoring team and the 4th most passing attempts. That doesn't bode well for Genty. Yes, they're going to get him the ball. Yes, he'll catch it. Yes, he'll get a ton of touches. My biggest concern, they didn't do enough in the offseason, and they're going to be playing from behind, throwing the ball more and more and more, which does not bode well for Genty.
Well, your stats are great, Blake, and I love them. But if you're the 4th lowest scoring team and you have the fourth most passing attempts, who were their quarterbacks last year? Let's just start with that. Do they have more stability at the quarterback position? Can we agree on that? A little bit?
A little.
Okay, who were their quarterbacks last year?
Aiden
O'Connell? Right.
I mean, they drafted him in what, like the 2nd round?
Okay, so you're telling me Aiden O'Connell and Geno Smith, there's a comparison? even though I'm a little biased because Geno's a West Virginia guy, you got to say Geno's been more consistent than that guy. Let's be honest here.
The past couple of years, yes.
Okay.
And since he's been in Seattle. He was successful in Seattle.
Okay, and the Raiders defense was not that bad. See Kansas City game when they should have beat the Chiefs, but their offense was pathetic. Their offense is going to be so much better, which lends itself to having better defense, which lends itself for more opportunities for Jeanty. So all the lowest scoring and passing attempts, I think that all changes. I think they come. I mean, you can't get any worse. The fourth lowest, I mean, they can't get any worse scoring wise. So you have to believe there's going to be no regression, but an uptick in scoring. And who's going to provide that uptick? None other than Mr. Jeanty. There you go.
All right.
There we go.
Well, you're drafting him at your if you draft him in the first round, you are drafting him at his ceiling.
Oh, I can't wait to the
There is no value there at all.
Who did the Raiders play the first week of the season? Oh, man. I'll look it up later. I'm super excited.
Oh, no. I'll get it right now. You go ahead.
We got another juicy one coming up for sure.
Raiders week 1 against a top 5 New England Patriots defense.
Where?
Foxborough.
Okay, that might be an issue.
And I'm just making that up. The top 5, I was kidding.
Well, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, the Patriots do have a good defense. So we got Travion versus Jeanty. That'll be interesting. We'll get to, again, we're going to circle back to Mr. Henderson as well. But we've discussed Jeanty, and we have some disagreement on that. The next person we're going to talk about is Mr. Josh Jacobs.
We'll get there. Hang on. We got Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, and your list. We both agreed there, 6 and 7.
Yep.
Then it's Josh Jacobs at 8.
JJ, your favorite guy.
Whew. Not quite.
I'm still getting over. I'm trying to get over the Melvin Gordon comparison with Jeanty, but oh my God, I don't know where you got that from. Like you threw me a curveball on that one. So let's get into Josh Jacobs. I have him at RB number 8. Number 5 running back in fantasy in 2024. Had over 20 carries in only 4 games last year. Averaged 17 carries a game. Now, one can say he had a pretty good workload, and he did. But typically, the 20 carry mark is the threshold. So close to 20, but not 20. This year, I would expect to see Jordan Love's numbers go up, which does mean a little of regression for Josh Jacobs. But that regression, I believe, still keeps him in the top 10 running back conversation. Will he get 15 rushing touchdowns this year? Probably not, but I see double digits for sure in that offense. Do I see a drop-off? Yes, but I don't see him falling kind of off the cliff like you do.
I still have him as the RB1.
Yeah, I think you wanted to rate him lower, actually. If
you're gonna be honest, you're gonna tell me. Let's hear it.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised you had him at 12. If you want me to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
Okay. Are you asking me? What are you asking me?
Where'd you think I have him?
14, 15, which would have been a big discrepancy.
That would have been a larger one. Yeah, we're at 4 spots. That's not too bad.
Not too bad.
I mean, he's safe, he's consistent, but we just talked about how we were going to approach Jordan Love and how we think the Packers are going to go, and we think they're going to go through the air. Josh Jacobs had trouble last year getting in the end zone early on, and then all of a sudden he had a big bump in every single game he was hitting it. Safe, consistent for most of his career, except for coming off of his RB1 year where he had like 400 plus touches, and we know what happens at that cliff. That was my struggle with Saquon at 2. I mean, Saquon had 370 touches last year. And if I remember correctly, 8 out of the 10 backs that have had 330 touches or more, only 330, didn't finish the season, didn't play a full season the following year. And all 10 saw a 45 or more touch regression the following year. That was my struggle. But Saquon's might be a different animal if he can stay healthy. We will see. But I was a big believer in that Josh Jacobs would not repeat nor be high up on the list. And you're right. I kind of see him as a bust based on where he's being drafted. But at 12, I think that's fair. He's still going to get, I mean, last year was kind of like a perfect storm. It was volume and circumstance with Love getting injured, not being able to pass the ball well, with receivers having issue. But this year, Love is back. They drafted Golden. Hopefully some of his receivers can stay healthy. They also have Marshawn Lloyd back. So I still have him as an RB1. I just don't see drafting him at his ceiling at RB7, according to consensus. And you've got him at 8.
Yeah. I think he's another interesting player in terms of production over 2024 and how that relates to 2025, just like Saquon. Maybe not as much as Saquon because he had so many carries last year, but at the end of the day, is Green Bay going to let Jordan Love run things, or are they going to run things through Josh Jacobs? And again, to your point, it was all circumstance last year. I can't believe Matt LaFleur, being this offensive guru, is going to continue to just pound and pound and pound. That's just not his style. It's not how it works, especially when you draft a receiver in the first round. And you already have like 8 of them. I mean, they got so many receivers. You don't know who to take in fantasy. Obviously, Golden is the guy, but good luck trying to figure out who's next.
You got Wicks, you got Reed, you got,
Dobbs.
Dobbs.
Watson's hurt. Who knows if he's going to be back? And he was the number 1 going into last year.
Correct. All 4 of them are already banged up. There's not a single one healthy besides Golden.
And you got Tucker Kraft. I mean, you still have the tight ends.
It's a lot of weapons. It's just any given Sunday, you don't know who you're going to get.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait. Again, we talked about waiting things out for the first few weeks. You're going to have to wait this Green Bay situation out big time because it can go. I think all we know is we expect Jordan Love to have a great year. Everybody else, we have no idea. None. And we feel like Josh Jacobs will be consistent. But receiver-wise, good luck.
I didn't touch any of them besides Golden.
I didn't either. Not even close. Not with a
so far, and I probably won't.
Agreed.
Next on your list, you've got CMC at 9, and I'm at 4.
Ooh, you think he's back?
I think he is. I mean, all the word around camp, a lot of talk. I mean, did you hear what Trent Williams said?
What did Trent Williams say?
Looks like CMC of 23.
Did they say that about him in 24?
No. No. I'm not concerned about the addition of B-Rob like we talked about. They've used a committee approach before. My only concern that's even valid with that is health. I think we both agree on that. I've got him projected for just over 250 carries and 70 receptions, total of 15 touchdowns. And so for me, that's got him in top 5 category. Do you remember the touchdown streak in 2023?
I do.
I mean, you could literally safely bet any amount of money you wanted on an anytime touchdown for the longest time and just build that bankroll.
You could.
I missed most of those, but yeah.
Hey, timing is everything, my man.
Not saying he's getting back to that, but I think he's one of 2 weapons that San Francisco has. So they're going to use him and use him a lot.
Again, being negative Nancy.
Let's hear it.
How many weapons did you say they had? 2? You know, last time I checked, there's 5 eligible receivers. And you saying they only have two weapons, and you expect them to compete or CMC to be number 4? I don't see it.
Who? Ricky Pearsall?
Oh, come on.
Brandon I without a knee uke.
Okay.
George Kittle.
Okay.
CMC.
Jennings.
Already banged up Jennings.
Yeah. That's my point. And
so,
you have him at number. So you're saying because of all those guys and the unknown, he's going to basically be the bell cow, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be all well and good, but you don't think the defenses are going to be ready for that?
They've known that for years, and he's continued to produce. Remember Carolina?
But he's older, and those defenses are a lot better in that division, i.e. the Rams and i.e. the Cardinals. They went out and got defensive help. So I think those defenses are going to be much improved. All I'm saying is, again, I haven't met 9. Listen, at the end of the day, he's probably the most polarizing player in fantasy football history. Because if you have him and he's healthy, he's a game changer. If you have him and he gets hurt, he will wreck your team. Just wreck it. So I have a hard time putting my faith in CMC being another year older and the lack of weapons that the San Francisco 49ers have. And then what do we make of Brock Purdy? What is he? We still don't know. So listen, again, I have him at number 9, solid RB1, but man, I can't, with all the question marks in San Francisco, I don't see how he's any higher than that. Barely in the top 10. Yeah.
I mean, I was happy to take him at 12 in our fantasy league.
It's good. Yeah. I mean, again, for the value, no question. I just would have a hard time taking him at the 4th as a 4th running back overall. But that's why they play the game.
All right, moving on. We have Devon Achane. You've got him at 10. This is our biggest discrepancy. You got him at 10, and I've got him at 17.
Yes. Do tell.
You know he's hurt, right?
I do know he's hurt.
Oh.
Have you read the report lately that he's?
Oh, he's gonna be ready for week 1. It's a soft tissue injury. No worries.
Not worried at all.
All right. How does he get to 10?
How does he get to 10? Because that's where again, he was hurt. I get that. I just don't see how you can keep him out of the top 10. When healthy, he has produced, and when Tua's been on the field, he's really produced. Obviously, the key is Tua. If Tua's on the field, he's going to be great. Tua's not on the field, he goes down in terms of his production. Yes, he's had the calf. They've been very, very, very smart with him in terms of his practice or not practicing and letting that calf heal. I don't see any issues with it at this point. I think Achane will be fine. I think he's a top 10 running back. I know Ollie Gordon, everybody's talking about him. And listen, I see, again, another guy watched the college grade at OSU, Oklahoma State, that is, not the Buckeyes. There is another OSU, folks. But I just believe Devon Achane in Miami is the perfect back for that particular system. And I think the calf injury, while somewhat serious, it's a soft tissue injury. I think the couple weeks off will help him. And if he's going to practice all week without limitations, I mean, obviously you'll have to watch the injury report, but he's practicing without limitations. I see no reason that he should be outside the top 10. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it.
So as our league mate, Antonio knows, I have one word for you.
What is that?
Fragile.
Okay, go ahead.
It must be Italian.
Okay.
Actually, it's pronounced fragile. So it's all about.
Not in the Christmas Story, but go ahead.
It's all about risk injury for me, and he's already banged up. He's going to miss games. He's going to miss enough that I think he's going to get banged up. He's going to sit out. So enough that he's not going to be a top 10 back. And Ollie Gordon has impressed. Jalen Wright's out.
Yep.
Alexander Madison's out.
Out,
like for the season.
Yeah.
Ollie Gordon's looked good in the backfield, and I think he's going to carve out a space where they, like previously with Raheem Mostert, will have a dual backfield. It won't be the Devon Achane show this year.
Fair enough.
I don't see him getting to 10.
Okay. You see him at 17.
Yep.
Or lower. Do you see him lower?
No, he's still a solid RB2.
Okay.
But I got him at 17.
I still see him as a RB1.
We're going to have to agree to disagree, Jason.
We're going to have to circle this one.
So next on the list, you've got Kyren Williams at 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got him up at 8. We got James Cook. You have him at 12. I have him at 16. Then you've got Jonathan Taylor at 13. I've got him at 11. Mm-hmm. Our next one that you've got marked at significantly higher than me is Travion Henderson. You've got him at 14, and I've got him at 19. So, rookie running back,
correct,
from Ohio State in New England, where they're previously known for a backfield by committee, but now they've got Mike Vrabel, who is well known for having a lead bell cow. And you are telling me that the flashy, young rookie is going to land at 14, even though he's not the starter in New England as of today.
Correct.
Okay, let's hear it.
As we talked about, the story of the preseason,
Mm-hmm.
that was a non-quarterback. Everybody's raving, hoot and holler over this guy. Brings a different element to the Patriots offense. And let's be honest, the past several years, the Patriots offense has been below average, and that's probably putting it mildly. His size and speed adapt well in the pros, especially with a team whose MO is running the ball, not turning the ball over, which the other running back does.
Stevenson's done it a time or two.
Time or 7 to be exact. I've got that written down.
All right.
And playing good defense. That's what the Patriots do. They run the ball, they play good defense, they don't turn the ball over. Now let's get to Stevenson. Struggle with injuries. As Blake mentioned, fumbles. 7 times he lost fumble. Not only fumbled 7 times, he lost 7 of them. And averaged 13 carries for 53 yards per game. In the NFL, that's just not going to get it done. Ranked 34 out of 37 running backs in terms of yards per route with .66, which is awful, to say the least. Travion has great hands. See national championship game against Texas towards the end of the first half when he took a simple screen pass and took it all away against a formidable defense. Only a matter of time before he starts, i.e. Chase Brown in 2024. And that bodes well if you're lucky enough to draft him. I don't think it will take long. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I know what they see in practice. You can't deny it. They just want to bring him along slowly, and I get it. But at the end of the day, TreVeyon Henderson, he will be starting before the end of September because not only does he give the offense juice, Rhamondre Stevenson is old news. He'll be a great backup, but TreVeyon Henderson as a running back, as a young running back, you have to start to give these guys carries. Can he handle the load? One will find out. But I think Mike Vrabel is one that's going to give him the opportunity.
Good points. The Chase Brown comp is something I hadn't considered. It's just, when does he get the opportunity?
Soon.
That's the question mark, is like, when?
I think the first game, I think they split carries, and then you're going to see it. Like you're just going to see a different type of offense when it comes to TreVeyon as opposed to Rhamondre. I mean, you got Drake May as a quarterback. You got decent skill, but let's be honest, you got Diggs, who's older. I mean, you got a decent tight end in Hunter Henry, and you got Drake May. Who else do you have?
Antonio Gibson?
Oh, stop it. Stop it. You're ridiculous right now.
Maybe it'll be a 3-headed backfield.
No, well, it's going to be a 2-headed backfield. TreVeyon Henderson, by the end of September, maybe sooner, will be starting for the Patriots. And what that means is potentially top 10 when it comes to running backs when it's all said and done. If you combine in all of his yards, because he's going to catch the ball in the backfield. Dre Mank's going to get in his hands. He's going to make some plays. He's going to take simple dump passes and turn them into 10, 15-yard gains. That's what he does. I mean,
he's flashy. He's Chase Brown. He's Devon Achane. He's
Chase Brown, but bigger.
But
scary.
Flashy, exciting, big play potential every time he touches the ball. So I'm just concerned when he gets the opportunity. How far along?
When do you think he'll get the opportunity?
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, if Stevenson runs well, by chance.
You're funny. Stevenson, I just gave you his average 13 carries for 53 yards per game last year. He's going to run well?
Just saying, if he does,
no way.
He gets first crack, they're not going to go away from him completely.
When he piddles along and gets 2 yards a carry, they're like, okay, yeah, we can't have this.
Well, then there's injuries, then there's fumbles.
You have to have a threat in the backfield to compete. If you don't have a threat in the backfield, you're useless. And Stevenson, is just not a threat. He is like, if I saw him, I'd be like, oh my God, this is what the best you got in terms of the Patriots. And Mike Vrabel came in, they actually drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
That means something too.
For sure.
High draft his guy. We'll see.
Yep, we will see. All right, running down the list, we got another one right now. Number 15, Omarion Hampton. On your list, number 9 on mine. I'm a believer of the Chargers offense. I think they're going to put up some freaking points.
You are.
Number 22 overall pick. I mean, you talk about high draft capital. You don't spend that kind of capital if you don't plan on using them, right?
Correct.
They also brought in Najee, but he's already been injury plagued. As of now, they're saying he's good to go, so it's probably going to start out a committee, but I don't think it's going to be long. I mean, Najee's been inefficient since Big Ben left Pittsburgh. The last time Najee was impressive was when Big Ben was falling off a cliff and just dumping the ball off to him 10 times a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he fell off a cliff himself. Hampton's going to be used in the passing game. So this affords him a high floor, like you were talking about with Henderson. He's great at creating yards after the contact. He is definitely going to be the goal line back. And he's running behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. So I find it hard to create a scenario where he's not a top 10 running back.
Ooh.
I think Chargers offense are going to be explosive. I think they're going to put up a ton of freaking points.
So you're telling me a Jim Harbaugh offense is going to be explosive?
Yeah. Okay. They're going to have a top 10 quarterback and a top 10 running back.
Okay. We will see.
Bold prediction. I don't know why I didn't come up with that on the last episode.
I don't either, because I think that's bold. You realize they lost their Pro Bowl tackle, right? Okay. That's kind of important. If we're talking, Justin Herbert and protecting him.
Yep.
I just throwing that out there. I like Hampton. Harbaugh. It's Harbaugh. Like Harbaugh and Roman. This is what they do. Like they will run running backs into the ground. They're going to run both of them in the ground. And Najee may be the first one to go. And if that's the case, then Hampton definitely is going to get carries. But I don't see him being a top 10 running back, at least for this year. Especially if, to your point, if you're thinking Justin Herbert is going to throw the ball, and I get your point about Hampton coming out of the backfield, but if you're thinking he's going to push the ball downfield, he's not pushing it to a running back. He's pushing it down the field. So you have Herbert high and you have Hampton high. So you're really high on this offense that really lacks weapons on the perimeter.
Do they?
Yeah, I mean, okay, Ladd McConkey's more of a slot guy.
Mm-hmm.
And again, let's talk about the defenses in the AFC West.
What about Quentin Johnson?
Come on. This guy. Who brought this guy, folks? We mean Butterfingers?
That's right.
Listen, do the Chargers have potential? Yes. But is their coach going to unleash that potential? Or is he going to hold him back? That's the big question. We don't know that. We'll find out quick.
I was going to say, I mean, I can name 3 teams right now off the top of my head. Our top 3 quarterbacks have top 10 running backs as well.
That's true. No, like I said, I think the Chargers have the potential to score points. But again, like are you going to throw it 60-40? I don't think Harbaugh does that. I think he runs 60-40. Just my opinion. If he changes philosophy, the more power to him. I hope he does for Justin Herbert's sake. I would hate to see all that talent wasted because you're running the ball 6 out of 10 times. I like it. This is some good debates.
We got one more ahead of us. So next on your list is number 16, Breece Hall. I'm all the way down at running back 23.
You no faith in Breece Hall.
None.
Absolutely none. I get it. Last year, he was bad. He was one of our Sunday winners, wasn't he? Our Sundays.
He was.
Yeah. I forgot which award. Yeah, it was bad. Well, I'll give you some reasons why I think Breece Hall might rebound this year, Blake.
We're just going to wrap it up, so let's make it good.
Okay, well, other than CMC, you're right. He was the most disappointing running back of 2024, without question. Aaron Glenn and Justin Fields this year. So they got rid of old man Rodgers, and they brought in Justin Fields. Now, his rush share in 2024 was 67.4%. That's a lot. That is a ton. I do expect that to go down, but how much is yet to be determined. But I expect this 13% target share in the passing game to go up. And the reason why is Justin Fields is ranked second in check down rate last year. He was ranked second in check down rate. So we got a check down quarterback in the fold with the New York Jets. Also, Breece Hall could benefit from a bunch of read options when we know Justin Fields loves to run the read option. So are you going to key on Breece or are you going to key on Justin Fields? We'll see. With an offense that will lean heavily on the running game and Breece Hall still playing a big role with the Jets, I expect that offense to still run through Breece. Another team where the game script is run the ball, shorten the game, and play great defense. And I get Allen. Allen is there. He's there. It's his second year. I get it. And Aaron Glenn has talked about this committee deal. But again, when you get in the game, you better have some game breakers. And let's be honest, the Jets, other than Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, I mean, Allen is more of a power back. They got no game breakers. I mean, Fields, if he's running the ball, who else? So what do? You get your playmakers the ball in space. You're laughing. Go ahead. You're laughing at me. You're laughing at me. I can see your smile on your face. Go ahead.
I'm just over here biting my tongue.
The defense rests, Your Honor. Prosecution, you're up.
I've got concerns.
You think?
Workload and Justin Fields. So workload. Aaron Glenn has already indicated he's going to have a committee backfield.
They all say that.
I don't care. He didn't say just a committee backfield.
They all say that.
I quote, I would say we have 3 running backs on this team that we're going to utilize as much as possible. Right. Then he said, it could be a 1-2-3 punch. And he didn't stop there. He said, if we can get them all on the field at one time, we'll do that.
Okay.
Braylon Allen looked solid in his play last year. I mean, people were picking him up left and right.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then don't forget about Justin Fields. So enter Justin Fields. His rushing volume has impacted the number of pass attempts and offenses he's been associated with throughout his career. Fair. He's never averaged more than 26 pass attempts per game. Never once. Rodgers last year averaged 34 pass attempts per game. So we're looking at an 8 pass attempts per game drop-off with Fields coming in. Hall had a 17% target share based on my research last year. That's going to go down if we're talking about a 8 out of 34. What's that? 1/5?
Right.
20% drop in passing attempts. And then the Justin Fields effect is also how many goal line attempts is Breece Hall going to lose to Justin Fields at the goal line and red zone? So in summary, crowded running back room equals less carries, and Fields at quarterback equals less targets and less red zone and goal line touchdowns.
So what about the check down factor? You don't think that is...
He's still going to get the same amount of, put it back at 17%. Okay. 17% of 26 attempts is still less than 17% of 34. So it's less catches.
Sure.
And less rushes. And less touchdowns.
Aaron Glenn says 3 running backs. I find that hard to believe. Hey, listen. If he does
Coach talk.
I'm telling you, if he does that, that's coaching suicide. In this day and age, when you put 3 running, what are you going to do? So all those running backs are going to go off for passes with Justin Fields at quarterback. Give me a break. That's terrible. He ain't going to play 3 running backs at the same time. This guy's, I mean, come on. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I get it. It's coach speak. He's not going to do that. Braylon Allen and Breece Hall are the guys. And I think Breece Hall, because of Justin Fields, will have more opportunities for game-breaking explosive plays because of the threat of Justin Fields. And I think that alone pits Breece Hall not at 23, but at least in the teens, in my opinion. This is another one we're going to have to circle.
We that's the end of season episode right there, is comparing all of these outcomes, because you had plenty of fun at my expense last year with Anthony Richardson.
Oh yeah, I did.
Did you ever.
Don't let me get it 2 years in a row. You better hope some of my studs turn into duds this year.
Because I imagine that was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was
for
great.
You.
Yeah, 100%. Man.
That's it, brother. That's all we got for major discrepancies in the top 24.
Yeah, we covered a lot today, Fanatics. We gave you our much anticipated 2025 rankings for QB and running back. And tomorrow, Blake?
Wide receivers and tight ends.
Man.
And then before this weekend, we're going to get a document out so everyone can see it on the Facebook page, just the full list of all of our rankings. Hopefully we can make time to include current ADPs with those and have you armed and ready for this weekend's drafts.
Yes. How many drafts have you had?
I ran one for the football team. Okay. Braxton, he did all right. He put together a pretty good squad.
Ooh, you just said all right. That's not.
Well, he used my rankings, but it's changed since.
Oh,
because of it banged the A-chain.
Yep.
He took A-chain, but he got banged up afterwards.
Okay.
But he did have some solid picks, so I was pretty happy with that.
Tell Braxton, thank you. A-chain. Yes.
Well,
we're gonna celebrate that pick at the end of the year.
I'm gonna go ahead and text Jay my rankings just to make sure that he's got a solid set of rankings to go by. So no, I've got my league of record on Monday, and I did your draft with that new league we're in together. So
I'm the champ. Where's that belt? Oh, I wish I should have brought it out. I'll bring it out for tomorrow. When you get a belt, you got to wear it. So I will be wearing that thing around my shoulders. And for all those folks in that league, yes, I am a 3-time champ. If I win a 4th, Blake, that's a dynasty. And I will change my name to The Dynasty moving forward.
You realize that, and I told Karande this. I was like, Karande, you're so worried about winning a champion, making it to the championship and always losing, and you brought in me? You could have gone and got a dud off the street, but you pick somebody that knows what he's talking about. Come on, man.
And listen, I would if nobody else, if I didn't win it, and if you won it, we keep it in house, brother. That's right. How it works. We keep
Sunday Fun Day guys style.
Sunday Fun Day guys style. Man.
I told you guys, championships incoming. Just stick with us.
Yeah, you could do some damage in these leagues, folks.
We might disagree on some of the spots, but as a whole, we're pretty spot on.
We know what we're talking about.
All right, dude, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, let's talk about the socials real quick.
Socials.
Yeah.
We got we're on Facebook. That's our most active platform. Instagram to follow. But on Facebook, we do have that fantasy football advice group. It's kind of taken off. There's plenty of activity. People chiming in. Hopefully we can grow that to something big where people can lean on each other and help each other and, get advice on the spot where you got crowdsourcing, not just you and I giving insight.
We have a lot of insight already. We need some more people to get onto that site and say, hey, let's talk some fantasy. The football season's a week away, folks. Let's get going.
That's right.
See, that's the linebacker coming out of me. Per that link I sent you earlier.
I'll say you're not a kicker. You're not still asleep. Some folks are.
Listen, I'm going to be asleep in about 20 minutes. But
that's right.
I digress. Well, Blake, anything else?
That's it, man.
Good. Well, folks, thank you for listening to another episode of the Sunday Fun Day Guys Fantasy Football Podcast. And Fanatics, remember to make this Sunday your fun day. Sunday fun day, guys. Out.